5 innings yesterday. Not a single one came from a home run. They found production all throughout the lineup. 8 of 9 starters in that lineup coming up with a hit. Now it was that junior, though. The junior catcher, Lexi Winters, leading the charge, going 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and 2 RBIs, while the sophomore second baseman, Carly Shelton, went 2 for 4 with a triple and 3 RBIs. It's not always easy to put up that kind of offense, so they'll need another good outing in the circle as well.
Certainly for Kentucky, there was some tough luck yesterday with a few infield singles that kind of helped blow things up. Wildcats did have some chances, but they left multiple base runners. The big blow, their lone home run, the lone run coming on the home run here by Cassie Reisner. It was her 10th of the year, but that's all they would get yesterday as the Gamecocks win it in 5 innings to take game 1 of the series. For the Gamecocks today, in the circle, you see the sophomore, Neely Lamb, the transfer from Charleston Southern in her first season here in Columbia. She'll throw a lot of the rise ball, mix in the curve, screwball, changeup, a lot of off-speed as well, velocity in the mid to upper 60s. You see her numbers on the year. Been very good in the midweek, has struggled a little bit in SEC play, but getting a big opportunity here in game 2 of the series. Usually more strikeouts than walks. In SEC play, it always hasn't been that way, so we'll see how she starts off. Need a good start from her, do the folks in Garnet and Black.
And this is someone that head coach Ashley Chastain-Woodard said they want to see more of, get her more involved, because they know they need depth when it comes to postseason play.
A few changes in the lineup, but Allie Hutchins will lead things off once again. Takes strike, or takes one high apparently for ball 1, and we're underway here in Columbia. As we told you yesterday, this is a Kentucky team that'll play some small ball. When they get runners on, they lead the SEC in sacrifice hits. And they like to put pressure on the defenses. There's a strike. Hutchins, the sophomore, 0 for 2 with a walk in yesterday's game. You see her numbers on the season. Lamb misses up high, 2-1. You saw the numbers on Neely Lamb overall in SEC play. It has had some struggles. 1-2 with an 8.88 earned run average. Only pitched 8 2/3 in SEC play. And has had 6 strikeouts and 12 walks in those 8 2/3. Misses the inside corner apparently here and falls behind the first batter, 3-1.
Yeah, when she can find the zone and hit her spots, she can be really dangerous. Neely Lamb, top 28 in the country when it comes to strikeouts per 7 innings, 8.6. She can get into rhythm. Yeah, 200 in her career. Payoff pitch, just missed. And it's a leadoff walk. The Garnet and Black faithful wanted the strike call, but pitchers and hitters will have to adjust. So a good start for the Wildcats as the leadoff is aboard. That's something Hutchins does so well, leads his team with that on-base percentage. There's Lauren Borzilleri, the first baseman. Takes a strike here. Borzilleri not squaring there. Did have a sacrifice in yesterday's contest. 1 of 2 for the Wildcats. 0 for 2 with that sac bunt. Slaps that in the hole into right field for a base hit. Gamecocks had a little bit of a shift on, and she did a nice job of going the other way with it. Carly Shelton, the second baseman, was over close to the bag, and she just slapped it the other way into the hole. Good piece of hitting there. That ball just a second away from hitting the base runner, Allie Hutchins. So the Wildcats kicking up their heels here in the first inning. First and second, nobody out for their biggest home run threat, the right fielder, Peyton Plotz. Plotz, a native of Lexington. This is upstairs. Plotz 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts last night. Leads the Wildcats with 11 home runs on the year. Down in the dirt, good stop by Lexi Winters. No changes for the Gamecocks defensively from yesterday other than Neely Lamb getting the start in the circle.
Falls behind again, and Lamb one bat one away from loading them up with nobody out. Not the start the Gamecocks are looking for right here. Wildcats looking to get the bad taste out of their mouth from yesterday.
Yeah, that was the most runs allowed for them this season.
There's the strike. Even behind, Lamb not giving in, was coming in on the hands of Plotz. Grounded right side, Rhodey only played to first, and they get the out. Works the same as a sacrifice, though, as they get two into scoring position.
This is what the Wildcats do so well. They're able to play that small ball game, advance their runners.
There's the defensive set for the Gamecocks, just the same as yesterday. Brings up the cleanup hitter with one out. Allie Blum, the center fielder, stands in. Played left field yesterday. Infield comes in, shift is on as well. First pitch fouled away. You've got three infielders on the left side for Blum. See Shelton, the second baseman, on the other side of the bag. Wildcats were able to hit against the shift once yesterday. You see Blum 1 for 3 with a double yesterday. Up high, and you'd expect with the shift on like that Lamb is going to try to come in on the hands of Blum so she can't go the other way into that hole on the right side of the infield, just as Borzalleri did a moment ago for a single. Squares the bunt here, squeezes on, the play at the plate, and she is out at the plate. Well, you're going to see a lot of small ball from the Wildcats. They gambled there with the suicide squeeze, and great defense here with Neely Lamb.
Exactly what Coach Chastain Woodard said. They practice ahead of this series, just that traditional defensive plays. Great job by Neely Lamb to be ready, getting up there, and Lexi Winters for the tag out.
So at the corners now with two down off the fielder's choice. And it brings up the left fielder, Hallie Mitchell. Swing and a miss. Mitchell yesterday came in as a pinch hitter and had a single in her lone plate appearance. Upstairs with the rise ball. Lamb in her first season here in Columbia after a terrific freshman season at Charleston Southern, where she was the Big South Pitcher of the Year and Freshman of the Year. First time that's ever happened. Lamb, another one of the Gamecocks they call the hometown heroes, who grew up as a South Carolina fan, and the recruiting cycle didn't work out for her in terms of, I mean, she got to play college softball, but obviously wanted to come here. And oh, there's a picture of a younger Neely Lamb.
Just a little bit.
Collecting Easter eggs. Swing and a miss, strike three. Neely Lamb fired up, and why not? The Wildcats get the first two aboard. They can't do anything with it. We're scoreless as the Gamecocks come up for their first set of swings. Great comeback there by Neely Lamb to end the frame.
South Carolina doing what they need to do. Neely Lamb with a big strikeout to leave some runners on base.
No scores. We head to the bottom of the first in Columbia. The Wildcats will send their ace into the circle today, the junior Sarah Hendigas. Her first appearance in a while, about a little more than 2 weeks, as best we could find. You see her numbers on the season is 6th in the SEC in earned run average coming in to the weekend. Leads the Wildcats in innings pitched and strikeouts as well, as she'll face Quincy Lelio to start things off.
Yeah, despite that 2-week hiatus, she still leads this unit when it comes to those innings pitched, saves, walks, wins.
See the scouting report. Hendigas 79 strikeouts against just 32 walks in 72 innings, and that's what you like. More than a strikeout per inning and less than half walks compared to strikeouts. Transfer from Oregon State. where she pitched for 3 years. Quincy Lelio, the center fielder, leading things off for the Gamecocks. The Oklahoma transfer has been outstanding in this leadoff role. Had a good day yesterday, went 2 for 3 with an RBI and a couple of runs scored. She also walked once. And that broke a mini slump, if you will, for her. She had an 0 for 5 against Clemson in the midweek, and anytime you see a 0 as the first number for her at the plate, you say, what happened? Because she's been so solid, hitting over 400. Same lineup today for the Gamecocks as it was yesterday. She belts this one down the right field line. It's a fair ball. Lelio on her way to second. She'll go in standing up with a leadoff double. Quincy Lelio with her 11th double of the season.
We were just talking to Coach Chastain Woodard, and she said that she wants Lelio to start hitting balls to the ground, hard hit balls to the ground, not popping them up so often. But I guess you can pop them up when you've got placement like that in no man's land, able to get on to second.
Yeah, if you're going to hit them where they ain't, that's fine. Her 11th double. South Carolina, by the way, leads the SEC in doubles. They now have 84 as a team. Carly Shelton pops this one into short left center, and it'll be the left fielder, Haley Mitchell, calling off Ellie Blum for the first out. Shelton, the Gamecocks' leading hitter in SEC play, retired on 1 pitch. She was a thorn in the Wildcat side yesterday, going 2 for 4 with a triple and 3 runs batted in. Here's Ariana Rhodey, the first baseman. One of 6 transfers that came with Coach Chastain Woodard from Charlotte. All-American last year for the 49ers, and she's put up terrific numbers here in her first year in the SEC. Yesterday, 1 for 3 with a couple of runs batted in, a double and a sac fly. Rhodey tied for 8th and leading South Carolina with those 13 home runs. In the top 10 in on-base percentage, slugging, and walks as well. And Hendiges gets a strike here. Change of pace in there for a strike. Nice job by Hendiges. Mark Brown calling balls and strikes today. 2-2 low and away. Philip Friel's your first base umpire. Lyndon Baptiste, who was behind the plate yesterday at third. You see some numbers on Rhodey. 41 walks among many categories where she's in the top 10. Payoff pitch to her. She'll have another.
Well, and that's why Coach Chastain Woodard kind of moved her around a little bit in that lineup, because she was getting walked so much, and Coach knows that she can change a game with her swing, and they wanted to see her not get pitched around too much, keep her safe in that lineup.
Back in the 3 spot today. Down low. And the Gamecocks have them at first and second with 1 away. As Rhodey, with that good eye, as we just saw the graphic, collects another free pass here. So the Gamecocks with an opportunity, 2 on with 1 out for the third baseman, Ella Chansey, another one of the Charlotte transfers who's made an immediate impact for the Gamecocks. Chansey yesterday 1 for 2 with a couple of walks and 2 runs scored. Nice change of pace there. They appeal to the base umpire. She did not go around. Gotta like the way Hendiges is changing speeds to hitters, though, really keeping them off balance. Not afraid to throw a changeup early in the count there.
Yeah, she seems to have control right away.
One hopper to the second baseman. Donaldson only plays the first. They get the out there. It's the second out in the inning. Runners move to second and third.
Well, it seems like South Carolina likes playing with 2 outs, though. That's when they were able to spark things yesterday.
Here's the series history. 81st time these 2 teams have met. Gamecocks with the slight edge. Gamecocks took game 1 yesterday. Carolina won last year's series in Lexington after the Wildcats had won the previous 5 series. Lexi Winter stands in. She's the Carolina catcher. Transfer from Charlotte in her first season here. Has been outstanding behind the plate. Was 3 for 4 with 2 doubles, 2 runs batted in yesterday. And takes a strike here as again Hendiges does a nice job changing speeds. Slow roller left side. Hutchins has got it across the diamond in time. Both teams strained a couple of runners in the first inning. We're scoreless after one in Columbia. Move to the second. No score here in game 2 of this SEC series. There's Kentucky coach Rachel Lawson, all-time winningest coach in Kentucky softball history. Did a terrific job there, and 16 straight 30-win seasons, not including the COVID year back in 2020. They have been consistently good and consistently in the postseason.
Yeah, Coach Lawson getting to 8 supers in the past 13 seasons, but that 2014 year, they want to get back to the Women's College World Series. Get back to that caliber of play, making a deep run in the postseason.
6, 7, and 8 do it for the Wildcats here in the top of the second. DP Madison Clark will stand in to lead things off against Neely Lamb. Clark was the second baseman in yesterday's game. Clark 0 for 2 yesterday. A little soft liner to Shelton, and there's one away. Brings up Cassie Reesner, the shortstop. She had the big bat yesterday for the Wildcats, accounting for their lone run. It was a solo shot that gave them an early 1-0 lead. She also had a walk. It was her 10th home run of the year, second on the team. We were talking about it yesterday. It tells you a little bit about the lineup when you're able to have someone with that much power in the lower end of your lineup to kind of balance things out. It's like having a second cleanup hitter. Big swing and a miss there. Reesner entering today on a 6-game hitting streak. This one hammered foul. That'll reach the seats. Slow roller. Lamb fumbles, won't recover. That'll be one Neely Lamb will tell you she's got a field. May have taken her eyes off it to see where the runner was and kicked it around a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes you're thinking about making the play before you're actually making the play, and that causes you to mess up a little bit there, but going to make up for it here with the next at bat.
It'll be an error because it was a slow roller. Here's the catcher, Carissa Hamilton. Normally, if it's a hot shot back to the circle, pitcher's not going to get an error, but that was a very makeable play, so correctly ruled an error. And Coach Ashley Chastain-Woodard coming out to talk to her pitcher. I think she sensed a little frustration there, as it's been a tight but consistent zone so far. We're just in the second inning so far, and perhaps a little frustration on some of the calls she didn't get, and didn't get a strike called there, and maybe this is just a settle down kind of thing. Yeah, especially after you make a mental mistake, something you could have gotten and helped your team out there, giving yourself a better chance to close out another frame, another scoreless frame. Chastain-Woodard kind of mentally resetting with Neely Lamb. Obviously, Coach Chastain-Woodard, in addition to the head coach, as a former pitcher, she has a lot to say in terms of what's going to happen with the pitching staff. So Wildcats get a runner aboard. They had 2 last inning. Here's Hamilton. Takes a strike here. Hamilton, not an official at bat yesterday, but walked and had a sacrifice, one of 2 sacrifice hits on the day for the Wildcats. They do a lot of that. There's a lot going on here yesterday over the right field wall yesterday. We had a beach volleyball tournament, and off behind the stadium to the right, the SEC Men's Tennis Championships being held. No beach volleyball today, but the Men's Tennis SEC Championship concluding today. And congratulations to the Texas Longhorns. They defeated South Carolina in the championship match, finishing up just a few moments ago. Diving catch by Ella Chansey. Throwback to first, double play. That's the way to get out of an inning. Ella Chansey with some thievery at third base. South Carolina turns to their 25th double play of the year.
Chansey with a pretty put out here, somehow just being ready on her toes and knowing where to send it next for the big double play as we roll to the next.
Back in Columbia, Gamecocks and Wildcats scoreless here as we move to the second inning. There's South Carolina head coach Ashley Chastain Woodard coaching at her alma mater in her first season after 5 outstanding years up at Charlotte. Just up the road, was an outstanding pitching coach as well at several stops throughout her career, and had a chance to come back home and making some noise in year number 1. Brooke Blankenship, the shortstop, to lead things off for the Gamecocks in their half of the second. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 against Sarah Hendigas, who worked out of a jam. Both pitchers working out of first inning jams, where both teams had a couple of runners but left them there. Blankenship 1 for 3 with a walk, an RBI, and a run scored yesterday. There's a strike.
Well, she can produce on offense. Normally you see her highlights on social media for her defensive plays in that shortstop position. I know yesterday she had a nice little skip pass to first for an out.
Count even at 2-2. Yeah, able to do a lot with the glove, and also with that, I don't know, the sidearm submarine delivery sometimes she has to get the ball out of her hand quickly. Yeah, I mean, she comes from, you know, about 4 o'clock sometimes on the throws.
And off balance, it almost seems, just trying to make it difficult.
Stays alive here as Gamecocks had a fine defensive play. It was Ella Chansey ending the last inning with a line drive double play. Breeze blowing a little bit left to right today. It was blowing in yesterday. Blankenship doing the best she can to stay alive. Hendigas doing a really nice job of changing speeds. Full count. Blankenship started her career at Florida State 1 year, and her 3rd year here at South Carolina. Payoff pitch, popped up right side. Donaldson is there, and there's one away. Well, Ashley Chastain Woodard came down from Charlotte, where she was the softball coach. That's her husband, Robert, who's the baseball coach at Charlotte, and they're doing well in the American Athletic Conference, but they don't get to see each other much on weekends. But their baseball series, I think, ended Saturday this weekend, so he's got the day off today. Come down and watch the wife work.
Yeah, it's funny talking to her this week. She was talking about how, you know, the household's good right now. They're both doing well in their leagues, winning some games here. I think that helps make the conversations go a little bit easier in the house.
Here's Abigail Knight, the right fielder. Yeah, they don't see each other a lot on weekends. Hit in the air to short left center. Mitchell, the left fielder, is there, and quickly 2 down in the Gamecock second. So 2 down, bases empty for the DP again today. That's Emma Sellers. Sellers, a senior for the Gamecocks. Taking over that spot late in the season as the DP in place of Natalie Heath, whose bat cooled off a little bit. Healthy cut on the first pitch, came up empty. Sellers productive yesterday, 1 for 2, couple of runs batted in, had a sacrifice hit as well. This game 2 of the series, game 3 tomorrow night. In the air to right field, Peyton Plotz is there, and an easy 1-2-3 inning for Sarah Hendigas and the Wildcats. We're scoreless after 2 here in Columbia. Scoreless as we move to the 3rd inning here in Columbia. Alongside Amanda Poole, I'm Brad Muller. And take a look at the RPI in the SEC with 10 schools in the top 15 nationally in RPI. What does it matter? Well, it matters not just for if you'll get to the postseason, but where you might play. If you get a chance to host or even be a national seed, that's part of the conversation.
Yeah, Coach Chastain Woodard saying that she likes them to be right under that 5. And when it comes to RPI, good chance to be a national seed. And they've won 5 series over top 20 opponents for them, over top 15 opponents. That'll do you good.
9-1-2 due up for the Wildcats here in the 3rd against Neely Lamb. Emery Donaldson, the second baseman, stands in. Donaldson, the center fielder yesterday, was 1 for 2. Yeah, that RPI is ever changing. Back to the circle. Lamb fields this one without a problem. 1 away. It's not uncommon for almost everyone, if not everyone in the SEC, to make the postseason. Here's Kentucky's resume to this point. They've had a lot against the RPI top 25, but they're looking for some more wins. And you get plenty of chances playing in the SEC, where most weekends you're playing somebody that's nationally ranked. Top of the order now, Allie Hutchins, the 3rd baseman, stands in. She walked to lead off the game and was erased at the plate on a suicide squeeze attempt.
Well, it's interesting. Coach Chastain Woodard said that she kind of had like a seminar to teach the younger players about what exactly RPI is and why do we, value it so much.
Low and in, 2-0. For South Carolina, and Amanda told you about some of the success they've had with their series wins against ranked teams, and their RPI currently in the top 5. 23 games against RPI top 25 as of this moment. And she also talked about how important this last 3-week stretch is as the committee really looks at those last 10 games. And so what you've done for me lately matters as well. Lamb falls behind to Hutchins once again. This is how she started off the game. Gets a strike here. Off the plate there, 2nd time she's walked Hutchins today. And the Wildcats get a runner aboard with just 1 away.
It's nothing new. We've seen both teams able to get runners on base, but it's a matter of bringing them home. Kentucky really pressed in that 1st inning.
There's Lauren Borzilleri, singled back in the 1st inning, was left stranded at 3rd base. Hutchins at first, 3 for 3 stealing bases this year. The strike zone eluding Neely Lamb here in the 3rd inning. 2nd time through the order now. Continues to miss upstairs with the rise ball. Hitter's pitch for Borzilleri. Borzilleri last time snuck it through the right side of the infield. Gamecocks with the same defensive set. Carly Shelton, the 2nd baseman, almost directly behind the bag, leaving a big hole on the right side, and Borzilleri was able to go that way for the single back in the 1st inning. Pops this one up, caught by Shelton, throw to first, double play for the 2nd straight inning. Gamecocks turn 2 to end the frame for the 26th time this year.
And that's a great pitch by Neely Lamb, really targeting the inside of that zone so that ball doesn't get popped up into that open area, giving it right to Shelton, who's able to make this awesome play. We've seen back-to-back double plays now in these 2 frames, thanks to this textbook defense from the Gamecocks.
Scoreless as we head to the bottom of the 3rd here in Columbia. Tennessee, big weekend. sweeping Auburn, and always a classic when Florida and Alabama get together. Emily Vincent sneaks one through the left side to open up the bottom of the third, and the Gamecocks get the lead off aboard for the second time in 3 innings.
Yeah, well, yesterday they put up 3 runs in the bottom of the third. Today they start off hot. First pitch Vincent sees, and she goes for it. Nice chop over to left field, gets her on.
Vincent, the 9-hole hitter, was 0 for 2 yesterday. Back to the top of the order now for Quincy Lelio, who doubled down the right field line in the first inning, but was left stranded at third base. Wildcats bring the corners in, and a generous strike to Lelio. Vincent with 7 stolen bases on the year over at first base. That's tied for the team lead. Squares and pulls back at a pitch up high. Lelio only 1 sacrifice hit on the season. Not as many opportunities in that leadoff spot. In at the corners again are the Wildcats. Chopper right side. Donaldson, it hits the runner and she's out. Tough break there. And she couldn't skip over it. That was going to be a tough play for the second baseman.
You don't think vertical is really a factor when it comes to softball players, but Vincent trying to time out her little skip right over the ball, but sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. Lelio getting on, though.
The Gamecocks still have a runner aboard now with 1 out for Carly Shelton, who was retired on 1 pitch with a fly to left in the first inning. Shelton, the sophomore from nearby Lexington, South Carolina. Changeup drops in for a strike. After checker swing and a pitch inside, did not go around. By the way, Lelio, a fielder's choice, reaching first as the ball hit the runner going to second. Game 2 of this series, again a rare series that goes Saturday, Sunday, Monday, as opposed to Friday through Sunday, or even sometimes Thursday through Saturday. It's got, I can't get my calendar straight. It's got me all confused.
It definitely feels like a Saturday.
Yep.
Well, we had an Easter egg hunt out here, so that was a reminder that, was Sunday.
Yeah, you knew it was Sunday. There you go. Yep. Chopper to first, and Bowers-Larry will step on the bag and take the easy out for out number 2. Lelio over to second on the play. So 2 outs, runner in scoring position for Ariana Rohde. Gamecocks had 2 on, 2 in scoring position in the first inning, couldn't do anything with it. Another opportunity here. Grounded to short. Reisner is there. Inning over. Nothing doing for the Gamecocks. They get a lead off aboard. Can't do anything with it. We've completed 3 innings of play here in Columbia. We're still scoreless between South Carolina and Kentucky. Move to the 4th inning. Columbia scoreless between South Carolina and Kentucky, joined by Kentucky head coach Rachel Lawson. And coach, got another tight one going here, and some tough luck for you guys. What do you want to see from your team, I guess, from an offensive standpoint?
Well, I want to see us continue to have good at-bats. Been really pleased. A lot better today than yesterday. We just got to tighten up a few things up base running, but really happy with the approach we're taking in the box.
As far as defensively, coach, you know, Sarah Hendigas coming out here, being able to strand some base runners. What do you see from her?
Well, she's just such a fighter, such a competitor. She's able to move the ball around a little bit, make subtle adjustments, so she's allowing us to keep the ball in the infield. So she's doing a great job.
Coach, appreciate the time. We'll let you get back at it.
All right, thank you.
There you go. Coach Rachel Lawson in her 18th year at Kentucky. Scoreless game. Got a good one as we move to the 4th inning. Alongside Amanda Poole, I'm Brad Muller. 3, 4, and 5 do up for the Wildcats against Neely Lamb, who's wriggled off the hook a couple of times thanks to some double plays ending the 2nd and 3rd innings. The 25th and 26th double plays turned by the Gamecocks this year. Right fielder Peyton Plotz to lead things off. She grounded out to Ariana Rhodey at first, back in the first inning. Starts off with a strike on the outside corner. Plots 0 for 4 in the series. This one hit towards the gap, but Lilio is there, and there's one away rather. Hit it on the nose, but Lilio able to get under it.
Neely Lamb really able to rely on the defense these first couple innings, even with a couple hit balls. She's kind of taking that pressure off herself in the circle, knowing she's got a solid group behind her.
Here's Allie Blum, the center fielder, reached on a fielder's choice back in the first inning. Pops this one up to Rhodey in foul territory. Almost came out of the mitt, but quickly 2 away here in the Kentucky fourth. So quickly 2 up and 2 down for Hallie Mitchell, the left fielder, a strikeout victim to end the first inning. After what we've seen, maybe 2 pitches this this inning, and we'll see if Mitchell's taking one here. 3 pitches so far. See the numbers on Mitchell, 0 for 1 tonight. Checker swing, it's ruled a strike. Mitchell's been swinging a good bat as of late. Counting tonight 6 for 9 in her last 4 games. Stays alive here. Kind of flailing at that off-speed pitch to stay alive. Does a nice job just to be able to stay in there for another pitch.
Yeah, Neely Lamb only with 1 strikeout so far. Came up big in that first inning, but has been relying on the defense to close out these frames.
2 outs, nobody on for the Wildcats here. And the 50th pitch of the evening for Neely Lamb. Up high. Wildcats have done a nice job of laying off the rise ball a lot tonight. You see the ball and strike ratio from Lamb so far. Good at bat here for Mitchell. Nobody has more fun on game day than softball players. Two hit in the air to short left. This could be trouble. Long run for Vincent. Makes a running grab. We are accustomed to seeing that from Emily Vincent. Hang a star on that one.
Great read from Emily Vincent out in left field through the sun. She just tracks this high-flying ball and puts the wheels on, crashing towards the ball, making the play. Gamecocks move on. Got this pitcher, Sarah Hendiges, who has played in a lot of games, high-level moments.
It was Coach Ashley Chastain Woodard's niece in the picture there for Easter egg hunt. Sure, a lot of youngsters were up early this morning. Ella Chansey to lead things off for the Gamecocks. The third baseman 0 for 1, a ground out to second in the first inning. Flares this one down the right field line. No one will catch it. Good effort by Peyton Plotz, the right fielder, but couldn't get there. Chansey had a good day yesterday, 1 for 2. And there's Coach Chastain Woodard's niece, Audrey. Looks like she's hiding the eggs behind her back.
So cute. I love the bow.
Stays high for Sarah Hendiges, starting pitcher for the Wildcats today. As you see the numbers on Chansey. Hendiges has been very effective as well, has allowed just 2 hits so far, 1 walk. Neither team has been able to string things together so far today. Drops in for a strike. Pretty good change of speed for Hendiges, and that's a tough pitch anyway, in on the hands.
Well, Coach Lawson said Hendiges is doing exactly what they want her to do. She has a variety of things that she can pull out her tool belt, and she's been able to use all of those today.
Payoff pitch. We'll have another one.
And she's an Oregon State transfer coming from 3 years there where she played at the highest level in Oklahoma City in the Women's College World Series. And that's what Coach Lawson loves about her. The moment never gets too big for her.
Yeah, been a second team all Pac-12 selection a couple of years back. Got to the World Series, as you mentioned, and time is called here. Kind of unusual this late in a count, but perhaps a sign was missed or maybe didn't like the particular location there, so want to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Well, and according to our research, this is her first time playing in a couple of weeks, so I wonder if fatigue or gameplay plays a role in that.
And been economical so far. You see under 50 pitches heading into the 4th inning here. Chopper backhanded by Hutchins at third. It's a foul ball. Good play by Hutchins nonetheless. On the left side of the infield right now, and the left fielder is going to be battling that sun for the next 20 minutes or so as the shadows creep across the infield. The sun setting behind the first base side of the stadium. That was the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Good battle here between Hendiges and Ella Chansey. Chopper right side. Donaldson is there, and they get the first out after a good battle. That's twice Chansey has grounded out to Donaldson at second. And brings up the catcher Lexi Winters, who's 0 for 1. A ground out to third to end the first inning. Skips up there. Winters, American Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Year last year at Charlotte. He's done a fine job behind the plate, but as you can see there, putting up some good offensive numbers here this year.
You know, hearing her talk in an interview after the game yesterday, you know, asking her, you know, why are you able to be so successful? And she said that she really pays attention to the batters before her and her teammates.
Chopper through the hole into left field for a base hit. Good piece of hitting there. And the Gamecocks get her a runner aboard. Just their 3rd hit of the afternoon.
So clearly she watched Ella Chansey and just didn't do what Ella Chansey did and said, I'm going to hit it this way so that I can get on base.
Find a hole. Gamecocks will get a pinch runner for the catcher Winters as Nia McKnight, the freshman from Loganville, Georgia.
McKnight earning her first dugout card of the season for her after she was able to create some base running problems for Kentucky yesterday. Speedster in the base paths.
And McKnight's got some wheels, 3 for 3 stealing bases this year. Gamecocks don't run a lot. In fact, they're 13th in the SEC coming into the weekend in total steals. Here's Brooke Blankenship. Blankenship popped out to second in the 2nd inning.
We talked about how South Carolina didn't hit any home runs yesterday, something that we've seen them do so much this season, but that's got to build confidence for this unit, knowing that you can win in multiple ways.
Yeah, it's unusual when you score 14 runs that none of the hits left the yard. Usually when you have a big 11-run inning, you're expecting a 3-run shot somewhere in there.
Grand slam in there somewhere. Yep. That's when they all just started to blur together.
Yep. Hendy gets way ahead of Blankenship here. No balls and 2 strikes. Strike 3 called right down the middle. First strikeout for Hendigas today. Blankenship looked like she was expecting something different. And that's what a change of speeds can do for you.
Yeah, just the first strikeout, like you said, Brad, for Hendigas today. But that one, a beautiful curve right in through the zone. Blankenship just caught looking.
2 down, runner at first for Abigail Knight, the right fielder. 0 for 1 with a fly to left today. And they may have the runner hung up, and getting back was McKnight. She looked like she was off and running. Don't know if somebody missed the sign on a hit and run or if McKnight was just wandering a little too far off. Able to get back. Runner's going to go this time, and she's in easily with her 4th stolen base. There's a pretty good throw, but it wasn't close because McKnight can pick him up and put him down. So runner in scoring position with 2 down. Gamecocks have had a runner in scoring position in 3 out of the 4 innings so far.
Well, yesterday McKnight was able to steal home and score a run on a wild pitch.
Yep. There's Nate McKnight with her sisters growing up.
I bet you there was a lot of races back in the day.
Flared foul again. Hendigas doing a great job, especially this inning, staying ahead of hitters. She's only walked 1, so she's been ahead, or at least even, most of the evening. But this inning in particular doesn't seem to be showing any signs of slowing down. Base runners have come at a premium for the most part. There was the changeup, and McKnight, or rather Knight, able to foul it off. Scoreless game here in the bottom of the 4th. Another 2-2. Just foul. Good effort by Hutchins. Eight pitches in this at bat. Seen that a couple of times this inning. Missed low with that one, and it's a full count. Payoff pitch, changeup. Didn't mean to, but ended up fouling it off to stay alive.
Hendigas really just playing around in that zone, in that square, a little outside of the box too, going east to west.
Another 3-2 to Abigail Knight. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice job by Sarah Hendigas. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the frame, and the Gamecocks leave another one in scoring position. Hendigas heating up.
Yeah, 2 strikeouts now for Hendigas. Top 12 in the SEC when it comes to strikeouts per game, and here she is doing just that.
Beautiful night in the capital city of Columbia, South Carolina for Game 2 of this SEC series between South Carolina and visiting Kentucky. We're scoreless as we head to the 5th inning after the Gamecocks won yesterday 14-1 in 5 innings. 6, 7, and 8 do up for the Wildcats against Neely Lamb. It'll be Madison Clark, the DP, to lead things off. She lined out to Carly Shelton at second base to lead off the 2nd inning. First pitch from Lamb. In there for a strike, and we're underway here in the 5th.
Well, South Carolina coach Chastain Woodard saying that she liked what she's seen from Neely Lamb so far, liked what she's seen from the defense so far, as long as they can hold up. But Kentucky's going to continue making adjustments against Lamb.
That last inning, by the way, for Hendages, the pitcher for Kentucky, threw 25 pitches this inning. Was her longest, most pitches she'd thrown, but still put up a 0. He's only thrown 67 pitches to this point. And Neely Lamb, you can see this is her 55th. Fisted right to Shelton. Had her played perfectly. She was shifted over that way.
It's like the second time that ball's been right there where Shelton is.
Yep.
Only have to take a step for that one. Good job by Lamb. Really attacking the hands of the batter.
Brings up the shortstop, Cassie Reisner. Reached on a fielding error by the pitcher, Neely Lamb, in the second inning. She hit the solo home run yesterday. That was a no-doubter for the Wildcats to account for their lone run of the day. It was her 10th of the year and swings right through the changeup there. Hadn't seen a lot of that from Neely today. That was a good time to throw it. Up high this time. This is low. Wildcats have had at least one base runner in every inning except the last inning. The Gamecocks had 2 inning-ending double plays on the lineouts. Gamecocks ended with a double play in the second and the third inning. Full count now to Reisner. Payoff pitch, popped her up, foul territory. Rohde comes over, and there's 2 away. Lamb battles back to win that one. Brings up the catcher hitting in the 8th spot. It's Carissa Hamilton, who hit into one of those double plays in the second inning. It was a great play by Ella Chansey, the third baseman, diving to make the grab and then throwing out the runner, trying to get back to first base. Time is called as Lexi Winters wants to have a chat with Neely Lamb. This is game 2. Game 1 yesterday, Carolina wins it 14-1. Game 3 tomorrow, a rare Saturday, Sunday, Monday series. And looking ahead, Gamecocks will have a midweek on Wednesday here against Winthrop before traveling to Auburn next weekend.
Yeah, this is just one of the last 3 SEC series for South Carolina, and it looks like this will also be the last inning that Neely Lamb pitches.
Yep, going to have a pitching change here in Columbia. Scoreless game in the 5th inning. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back. And for the second day in a row, 6th-year Sam Grass will come out of the bullpen for the Gamecocks. She got the save in yesterday's win for the Gamecocks. Came in when it was still a 3-1 game before the Gamecocks piled on 11 runs and did the job. Did not allow a hit or a run. Did not strike anybody out. Did not walk anybody. Just got the outs. In yesterday's win for the Gamecocks, went 2+ innings.
Yeah, Grass retired 6 in a row to end that game yesterday. She's a great closer, has 5 saves on the season as well. Obviously, it's 0-0 right now, but she's able to close things down for this team.
See if how much gas she's got left in the tank. She'll inherit a 1-0 count to Carissa Hamilton, the catcher, with 2 outs and nobody on here in the 5th. Close the book on Neely Lamb. Pitched well, 4 2/3. Obviously no runs, just 1 hit. Struck out 1 and walked 2. Walked the leadoff hitter both times. Other than that, also had some terrific plays defensively behind her. Immediately a strike here from Sam Gress. Gress, they call her Grandma. Again, the 60-year player, which you got to love but when you've got players that have, been around, that, I mean, there's a big difference between a 24-year-old and an 18-year-old. And Gress, who came down from Charlotte, pitched 2 years with Coach Ashley Chastain Woodard there after starting her career at NC State. There's a strike. Nice change of speeds there for Gress. And with Gress, it's not a lot of fancy stuff. Good command, likes to spot the fastball. Will throw a lot of off speed as well. Will throw some of the changeup. Bounces up there, runs the count full.
Well, Coach Chastain Woodard talked to us about Gress's performance throughout this season. Obviously hit a lull there in the middle of the season, but they kind of went back to look at some mechanical adjustments, kind of showed her film of her performance from last year's regional appearance when she said she was pitching her best. So she's made some adjustments, has found her consistency now.
Payoff pitch here is hammered foul as Hamilton turned on that one. And you wonder who has the advantage here, as they saw her yesterday, obviously, the Wildcats. So not going to be surprised so much as to what she throws. You've seen it, 24 hours ago. By the same token, she's seen you as a hitter as well. I'm never quite sure who has the advantage. I guess it just matters on where the location of the pitch. Popped up, short left field. Vincent calls and catches, inning over. So Gress does the job there, getting the 3rd out of the 5th inning. We go to the bottom of the 5th, still scoreless here in Columbia. Everyone feeling a little hooty today. Hooty and the Blowfish on your Easter Sunday. Gamecocks and Wildcats scoreless as we move to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Terrific pitcher's duel. Yeah, TK Sam is here. If you've been to a Carolina baseball, softball, almost any outdoor.
I swear he's in 2 places at once.
Yeah,
sometimes.
he might be. There might be more than one. He is everywhere. There's Sarah Hendiges. She's been terrific in the circle for the Wildcats, holding the Gamecocks scoreless on 3 hits. Just 1 walk, has struck out 2. In fact, the last 2 batters she faced last inning. She'll face 8, 9, and 1 here. DP Emma Sellers stands in, hitting in the 8th spot, 0 for 1 with a fly to right to end the 2nd inning. Sellers 1 for 3 with a couple of RBI in the series so far. Squares the bunt, pulls back, and a pitch low. Gamecocks looking for a base runner. Now the Gamecocks have had a base runner in 3 of the 4 previous innings, but unable to push one across. In fact, they've had a runner in scoring position in each of those 3 innings, but have not come up with the clutch hit. 2-0 here, taken for a strike. Sellers regularly a middle infielder, and then inserted into the DP spot a couple of weeks ago when the DP the first half of the season, Natalie Heath, started to struggle a little bit. Sellers started swinging a good bat. Has gotten more opportunities here. Nice change of speed again by Hendiges to even the count after falling behind 2-0.
Well, they say in basketball, right? Feed the hot hand. Well, Same thing goes for baseball and softball. Feed the hot bat. If you're seeing someone being able to step up, give them more opportunities.
3 hopper to first. Borzilleri is there, and there's 1 away. Did a nice job of not letting her eat her up there on the in-between hop.
Hendiges getting the job done. Picked up those 2 Ks in the last frame she pitched, and now able to let her defense do some of the work.
Here's the left fielder, Emily Vincent, hitting in the 9th spot. Singled through the left side back in the 3rd inning, but then was later erased as she was hit by the batted ball off the bat of Quincy Lilio, heading to second base. Vincent in her first season in Columbia after transferring from Longwood. If you followed the Gamecocks this year, you've seen Vincent make a lot of spectacular plays out there in left field. Made a nice running catch earlier today as well, coming in. Ropes that one foul, and Henniges way ahead. Vincent climbed the wall in their midweek game at Clemson earlier this week to pull back what would have been a 3-run home run.
Well, she does hold the record for female bench press at Lugoff Elgin, so she's got the strength out there in the outfield, get the job done.
Just off the plate there, he saw the catcher Hamilton try to pull it back in. Two-two pitch. Too far out. And if you're Henniges, this is one you've got to go right after Vincent. The top of the order is next. Payoff pitch. Change of speed, stayed high. A well-earned walk by Vincent. Tough pitch to lay off. Just the second walk by Henniges today. And the Gamecocks get a base runner and turn the order back over. Top of the order, here's Quincy Lelio. Lelio doubled down the right field line in the first inning, but was left stranded at third, reached on the fielder's choice in the third inning, takes a strike here. And she was left stranded at second. Vincent with good speed over at first base, tied for the team lead with 7 stolen bases. But again, South Carolina doesn't run a lot. They do pick and choose their spots. 13th in the SEC coming into the weekend in total steals. Did get a stolen base earlier today by the pinch runner McKnight. Just foul tipped it back and evens the count at 2-2. Off the plate there, another full count. Henniges has not left a lot over the middle of the plate today. She's done a terrific job changing speeds, hitting corners. Payoff pitch to Lelio. And that'll get through for a base hit. Holding at second is Vincent, and the Gamecocks kicking up their heels here. Third time Lelio has reached today. They're at first and second with one out.
This is exactly what Coach Chastain Woodard wants from Lelio, a hard hit, ground ball, able to get her on, advance her runner. Now there's someone in scoring position.
May have an appeal here to see if Vincent had left the bag early at first base. This is one of the common replay calls.
Kentucky is challenging that the runner at first base left early. That play is under video review.
So our first review of the day, and this is, you see this more times than not, especially late innings when it gets tricky. And we'll get a look at it. They're showing it on the video board here. We'll get a look at it as well, and does not appear that she left early. Foot still on the bag. Yeah, she's okay. At least from that angle. But you get a couple of challenges, so it's getting late. It's a tight game. You might as well use it if you have a question, right?
Well, and this lineup is just heating up right now, facing the top of the order.
After video review, the call on the field is upheld. That's Kentucky's first challenge of the game.
So it'll stay as called, or not called, if you will. So runner at first and second with one out for Carly Shelton, the second baseman, who's looking for her first hit of the day. Shelton, a big part of the offense yesterday, went 2 for 4 with a triple and 3 runs batted in. 0 for 2 today with a fly out and a ground out. I guess that pitch was up because it got part of the plate. Ripped foul past the bag at first. Shelton leads the SEC with 16 doubles. Chopper right side. Donaldson gloves, fields to second for one. Runner's going to come home. She's safe. Throw to second. And Shelton is safe there. The Gamecocks take the lead with some aggressive base running. Wow.
Wow, Emily Vincent puts on the wheels thanks to this hard hit ball from Shelton. But what a play by Kentucky to try to get the out. But Vincent pushes towards home just in the nick of time with a beautiful slide.
May have another review here.
Kentucky is challenging the call at second base. The call at second base was the runner was safe.
Oh.
That call is under video review.
Okay, yeah, the second runner at second base, not the first one, because the first one was clearly out. But the run scored before.
Yeah, great plays from both teams right there, offensively and defensively. Donaldson, what a grab and go.
Yeah, because if nothing else, the play from Donaldson almost saved a run, but certainly it gets an out, which is huge.
Now they're looking if Shelton made it safe to second.
Now the other thing that they may looked like she was out. That may be reversed. But did the run score before the play, which I believe she did.
After video review, the call at second base has been changed. The runner is out. That is Kentucky's second and final challenge. The run will count. Okay, so the run did score. Shelton is out at second base, so a wild finish to the fifth inning, but the Gamecocks do score first on a wild play here, 1-0 as we head to the sixth. I don't know if she knows it, but there's a nail biter here in Columbia.
She's chilling.
1-0 South Carolina as we move to the sixth inning, game 2 of this series with the Kentucky Wildcats in town. Gamecocks just scratched a run across last half inning. Here are the standings as for now, and there's not a whole lot of difference as you go from first, second, third, all the way through, which these next 3 weeks or 2 weeks after this weekend will tell a lot in terms of seeding for the SEC championship and more, but a lot to be settled. 9-1-2 due up for the Wildcats here in their half of the sixth. Emory Donaldson, the second baseman, to lead things off. Sam Gress in her second inning of relief work, and Donaldson made that tremendous play to basically take a hit away from Shelton, allowed a run to score on some aggressive base running. Eventually the inning was over as Shelton was out trying to take second, but Donald really saved it from going into the outfield, making a terrific play. 0 for 1 today, hit one back to the circle back in the third inning. Gress came in last inning with 2 outs, retired the lone batter she faced. Gress, her second appearance out of the bullpen for the Gamecocks this weekend. Grounded left side. Blankenship's got it. Good play.
Blankenship quick with the read. Easy ground out for her.
Top of the order now. Here's Allie Hutchins, who's been on base twice via the walk, both times against Neely Lamb. And was erased on the base paths both times. Out at home in the first inning on a suicide squeeze attempt. Takes a strike with the changeup here, then was out in the third inning, getting doubled off after a line drive double play. Stays high again. Strike here. Hutchins, they call her Clutch Hutch, has reached an 8 straight now after 2 walks today. Popped up left side. Chancey, the third baseman, calls and catches. 2 away. Two down now for the first baseman, Lauren Borzilleri. Borzileri's hit it well twice today. Singled in the first inning and then lined out into that double play to end the third inning, but she's made good contact. Borzilleri, native of Riverside, California. Borzileri's been swinging a good bat all week. In their midweek win over Western Kentucky, she belted 2 home runs. Same spot, same result. You can see Gress trying to work in on the hands of Borzilleri.
Yeah, she's able to mix up that speed too. We saw a couple change-ups earlier. She's still got some control.
Line just foul. Gamecocks have been playing her to pull. Shelton, the second baseman, shifted over almost behind the bag. And again, on her first at-bat, she went the other way and singled through that hole in the right side of the infield when the Gamecocks had this mini shift on, if you will. Good battle here. Gress back to work. Hit in the air to left field. Vincent right there. An easy 1-2-3 inning for Sam Gress and the Gamecocks. Gamecocks still lead it 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. That's Williams-Brice Stadium off in the distance here in Columbia. They had their spring game there Friday night for Coach Shane Beamer, coming off a 9-win season a year ago. Here we got a good one going. South Carolina leading Kentucky 1-0 in game 2 of this series as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Good old-fashioned pitcher's duel. And a nice evening on your Easter Sunday. Sarah Hendigas has been very good for the Wildcats. Allowed just the 1 run on 4 hits, struck out 2, walked a couple. Sam Gress came out of the bullpen the last 2 innings. Had to throw just 15 pitches last inning to retire the Wildcats in order. First baseman Ariana Rode to lead things off. 0 for 1 with a walk today. Walked back in the first inning, grounded out to short to end the third. Gamecocks with just 4 hits today after 13 yesterday in 5 innings.
Well, Coach Chastain Woodard saying that they really didn't let their foot off the gas yesterday. They weren't settling for 3 runs in that 3rd inning. So today you wonder if they're going to settle for the 1-1 or if they want some insurance.
They've been having trouble finding the gas pedal, both teams so far today. Where is it? Gamecocks scratching a run across last inning on some aggressive base running. Emily Vincent scoring from second on a ground ball up the middle that was kept in the infield. 2-2 now to Rhodey. And if you're Kentucky, this is how you want to face Rhodey. With nobody on base, the Gamecocks leading home run hitter with 13 on the year. Runs the count full. Of course, you don't want to lead off walk either. They've been doing a nice job of pitching in on the hands of Rhodey, not allowing her to get extension. Payoff pitch, just foul. Rhodey with 13 home runs. She also has 8 doubles this year. Seventh full count for Hendigas today. Hit to right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Great piece of hitting there by Rhodey, just going with that pitch. And the leadoff is aboard for the Gamecocks here in the 6th.
Great way to get some type of contact there on the end of her barrel, but sent it to the opposite just far enough. So it bounces in, gets her to first.
Rhodey has reached safely in 37 straight games, by the way. And we'll get
just
a pinch
one
runner.
off the program record.
Yeah.
She's knocking on the door.
Might do that tomorrow. Gamecocks will get a pinch runner. Chloe Lackey, a freshman from Oliver Springs, Tennessee, will run for Rhodey at first base. And we'll see how the Gamecocks play it here. South Carolina has not played a lot of small ball this year. In fact, tied for last coming into the weekend. Just 7 sacrifice hits on the season. They had one last night. Ella Chansey, the cleanup hitter at the plate. Nobody out and a runner at first. They come in at the corners through the Wildcats. Chansey not showing bunt. Chansey has 1 sacrifice hit on the season. And Lackey has not attempted a stolen base this year. Squares one up, flies it out to right field, and Plotz is there for out number 1. So now with 1 out, brings up the catcher Lexi Winters. See if the Gamecocks have anything going now, as Chansey unable to move the runner over. Winters, the Gamecock catcher, 1 for 2 today. Single through the left side in her last trip in the 4th inning. Also grounded out to 3rd. Takes a strike down the middle here. Winters led the Gamecocks with 3 hits yesterday, 3 for 4 with a couple of doubles. Sends this one to center field. Blum makes the grab. Almost went over her head. And it's the 2nd out in the inning.
Yeah, she kind of ran up on that one, and the ball started sailing behind her, but able to get up there, make the catch for Blum.
So a big play there. Runner holding at first with 2 outs after a leadoff single, and it brings up the shortstop Brooke Blankenship, who's 0 for 2 today. It popped to second, struck out looking in the 4th inning. Squares, runner is going, throw down to second, and they got her. Lackey caught stealing to end the frame. Gamecocks get a leadoff single, can't do anything with it. We've completed 6, 1-0 as we head to the 7th here in Columbia. We move to the 7th and a 1-0 South Carolina lead. Kentucky will have the heart of their order up, 3, 4, and 5 against Sam Grass in her 3rd inning of work. Peyton Plotz to lead things off. Sam Grass replaced Neely Lamb, who went 4 2/3, allowing just 1 hit, a couple of walks and a strikeouts. Here's Plotz, 0 for 2, a ground out and a line out to center, leading the Wildcats with those 11 home runs. Squibber back to the circle. Gress has got it, one away. That's a big out there.
We were talking about it earlier, Brad. You know, Sam Gress is able to send out these batters in such unique ways. It's not always a strikeout. Sometimes it's a fly out, and here she is getting the defense done herself.
Here's Allie Blum, the center fielder, 0 for 2. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. Fouled out to Rhodey at first in the fourth. Got some pop on the bat as well. Gamecocks have the shift on for her, as the second baseman Shelton playing on the other side of the bag. There's a strike. And that's where Gress wants to live against this right-handed hitter, especially with the shift on in on the hands.
Kentucky with their rally caps on. Or bucket hats, I guess.
2-1 stays high. Wildcats could use a base runner here. Ripped foul, and it's a full count. Gress again coming in on the hands. Payoff pitch to Allie Blum. Shot the checker swing. Did she go? They'll throw down to first to complete the out. It's the first strikeout for Gress. Second out of the inning, and the Wildcats are down to their last at bat, perhaps. The 2 outs, nobody on for the left fielder, Hallie Mitchell. 0 for 2 with a strikeout, and flew out to left in the fourth on a great running grab by Emily Vinson to take away a hit. There's a strike. Fouled off, and quickly an 0-2 hole here for Mitchell. Oh-2 pitch. Just got a piece of it to stay alive. Gress takes a deep breath. Lays off the changeup.
She wanted that one.
It was over but low. Good discipline there by Mitchell. Little looper left side. It'll drop foul. Grounded right side. That's through into right field for a base hit. The Wildcats will not go quietly. Just their second hit of the game. It comes with 2 outs in the 7th.
There's great contact here from Kentucky and a good at-bat, able to just get as many pitches as she can, get a better idea of what she wants to do. Mitchell trying to spark something here.
So runner aboard with 2 outs. DP Madison Clark stands in 0 for 2. She's hit it twice to Carly Shelton at second base, who's playing almost behind the bag. That's where she's been lined up both at bats. So the pressure amps up a little bit. And Gress again ahead, no balls and 2 strikes.
Sam Gress came up big yesterday, sending down the last 6 batters to close out the Game 1 win.
The 0-2 to Madison Clark. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gamecocks take their 4th SEC series of the season. A 2-hit shutout by Neely Lamb and Sam